Tony, welcome to World Building Secrets.
It's great to be here.
So happy you're here. For those of you that do not know, Tony is our CEO, our co-founder, our ultimate Unioverse legend. He's the king of town halls and king of spaces and king of the Unioverse. So happy that you're here.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here and to share some things about the Unioverse.
Let's do it. Okay, Tony, if you were in a room with people that were completely new to the Unioverse, what would they need to know?
Well, the Unioverse is a world-class franchise. It's got a phenomenal set of stories in it. We sell heroes. The community collects these heroes. The heroes, what's really cool about the heroes is they're interoperable between all of the Unioverse games. So as we release more and more games, and we involve independent developers to make games, your heroes will be able to drop in to a game. It secures you access to that game, and you'll be able to play them, pop out of one game, and drop down into another game. The heroes retain some history about what their achievements are within the games as well. So it's going to be a very cool, new, unique gaming franchise opportunity.
What exactly do you mean by gaming franchise?
Well, by franchise, we want to show off that it's much bigger than a single game. The Unioverse isn't about one project. It's great franchises start with great stories, and we have some of the best storytellers in the industry involved with this project. We have people that wrote and are behind the stories, like Star Wars, the Dune prequels and sequels, Walking Dead, Bird Box, Call of Duty. Headed up by our chief storyteller, Brent Friedman. But so there's a ton of killer people behind this project. We've got Stephen Graham Jones, The Only Good Indians, Linda Addison, Black Panther, Tales of Wakanda, Kevin Anderson worked on Dune. So these are world-class people writing world-class stories, and you need that base of stories to be able to host a variety of games. And we say franchise because we're not just games as well. We have comic books that we're releasing. We have novels, anthologies. We have merchandise, and so this is bigger than a single game.
So speaking of anthology and comics, we have, of course, there's going to be a comic coming for Krisha, but we actually already have a comic for Ryu. Tony, I think you actually have the comic. Do you actually have it?
Yeah, I'll give you guys a sneak peek of the comic.
Ooh.
It's absolutely awesome. We actually have 3 comics finished. Only one's in printing, 2 more in printing right now. And a 4th one will be finished by the end of March. But it's absolutely phenomenal. You guys are going to love this comic book. People in the community are going to be able to share it. And we're going to give some opportunities for the community to get some special versions of the comic as well.
Absolutely. Shout out to Ben Matsuya and Josh Viola and Angie Hodup. All responsible for these beautiful comics.
Josh and Andy wrote it, and we got... Ben, who did all the artwork inside, and AJ Zanzaro, who did this beautiful cover as well. But I've taken some of them, and we have the artists involved, the writers involved, and Wyatt myself have signed them. And BTC is going to make some of these available for the community. We'll have to run some fun contests or something to give away some of these to the community.
We will. What's next for the community? What can they look forward to?
Well, we've been incredibly busy. We in January we released Ryu, and then we put our heads down and started crunching really hard. We did a lot of interviews with the community, what they wanted to see next as well. So one of the key things they wanted more accessibility to mobile. So we really worked hard. The teams really worked hard. I guess we used We literally since I'm not programming it, but the programming team has worked like crazy to make this accessible to everyone on mobile as well. So that's the first key big improvement that we're doing. We have a danger room, and the danger room is going to be the place to test your skills and shows you the utility of your character. So Ray will be the first one. You'll be able to drop into the danger room. You'll be able to run around, test your skills against other members of the community and stuff. And so it's kind of the first step that we have showing utility. Oh, we have kind of
Here we go. We have a little snippet of the Danger Room.
Yeah, so we'll run a little bit of Danger Room so you can take a peek of it. But it's what's very cool is these are the NFT heroes. The NFT heroes actually, well, the one that you have, the actual one you have, the uniqueness of it, the color, the badges, the things that your hero has on it will carry over with it into the Danger Room. So then you can run around, do a series of tests in the Danger Room and test your skills. And so it shows you that we're not just, we're not a PFP project. We're just not a pretty picture. We're actually a 3D model that's fully articulated, animated, and drops right into a game environment. And you can play with these heroes.
Which not many companies do. I mean, I don't think any project out there is so open.
Yeah, I think the Danger Room alone will be the most advanced project ever for NFTs. And obviously the Danger Room will evolve with the community's feedback and the team working on will evolve to its own game. And we'll show off and premiere some other environments that you can drop your hero into later in the year, because it's really key is when you buy your hero, you own that hero, and that hero is your ticket. It's basically your admission to jump from
on the journey.
First projects.
Yeah, I mean, we're all about community ownership, so I think that's the perfect way to really bring people along the journey and be open about the process and allow them to almost like have unlimited access to beta testing, Danger Rooms, early editions, rarities, things that they usually cannot get until later on, right? But also have an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We want this to feel like a community project. Obviously, you want Steven Spielberg to make your movies. You don't want the audience to make your movie. So we have some incredibly talented game designers on this project, but getting feedback is vital for us. And so not only the feedback, but bringing them along the way on this journey, making a game, let alone a series of games like we're doing, is a pretty big undertaking. And what we found from the communities are very interested in how this is done. And the world builder, building secrets that you're doing, and some of the other videos that we do, and the spaces and the talks that we do in Discord and everything, we share some of the problems and the struggles that we have when we're making a game and to bringing it to market. And so it's going to be a great experience for all the people that are involved. I encourage you to come join our Discord, and so that you can actually get involved and see how we're developing the game. And at the same time, you're heading up a contest right now, but you get people to name a planet and do a background for a planet, or this shirt here was designed by the community. We get them involved, across the board. So if you want to be a creator, and you may live in a part of the world where it's not very easy for you to be involved with a video game company. And that's the great thing about the internet. We can all get involved. But what we're also going to do is all the assets that we create, we're dropping on a website for creators to be able to take and manipulate. They can make their own comic book series. They can make their own videos, make their own art, share it. Anything that they make, if they want to go sell it, they can go sell it royalty free. To see if Disney will allow you to do that with Marvel or Star Wars.
No one.
Franchise. We welcome everyone. We want people around the world. Even if you're a game developer at the professional level, we will have 3D assets for you to download. We'll give you millions of dollars of assets to start your game, and you can actually make your own game for the Unioverse as well.
It's an incredible opportunity, and I think I'm really excited for the Danger Room to come out, because I think it'll be the first time where people will be able to actually put their hero to action and really see it come to life and see what it's able to do and have so much control and ownership over it, which is really exciting.
I mean, when you look at that, go to OpenSea and you see a bunch of static images, and occasionally you see a 3D movie or something. When you go to OpenSea and you look at the Universe heroes, go check out like the Legends or the Epics. Those are actual 3D models running in, a Unity engine right there, and can be manipulated. Those characters and models are the ones that we're actually going to drop right into the Danger Room and our other games as well. It's a pretty revolutionary step for NFTs.
It is indeed. Ryu was a huge success. 20,000 sold out in under 4 hours. I think everybody's very anxious to hear when our next hero is coming. Can you tell us a little bit about our next hero?
So yes, we have 6 heroes that we're going to release for the Universe. We're trying to get at least 4 of them out the door this year. Krisha is our second hero that we're releasing, and Krisha is an orphan human raised by thieves and fugitives on the dangerous inner rings of the inner city, part of our story that's pretty exciting. But what's really unique about her is she has a powerful cybernetics arm that's actually fused to her torso. Of all the initial 6 characters that we have, she's unparalleled in athleticism. She can run, jump, evade faster, and is incredibly accurate. So she's definitely a hero that you're going to want to have as part of your collection to play our games. She's considered a deadly assassin. She works for a religious order, and I don't want to give away too much of the story, but she's trying to topple the Merge, and she becomes the Merge's most wanted individual, and the Merge has agents and bounty hunters across the universe trying to take her out. So she's a badass character. I love Krisha. I think she's a wonderful addition to our collection of heroes, and I think the community's definitely going to want this hero.
Here's a sneak peek of Krisha and with Ryu.
Yeah, so it gives you a little bit of the size and scale. She's definitely athletic, nimble character, super speed, deadly assassin. It's awesome seeing her back to back with Ryu, and she's badass. She's definitely going to be a character you want.
Absolutely. So, Tony, why do you need a hero?
Well, heroes are, without a hero, you can't play our games. That's just the bottom line. So they're the access, or the ticket, or whatever you want to call it, to get into our actual games. And, it's kind of a new business model. I mean, acquiring these heroes and trading them actually generates revenue for the company through the smart contract royalties and stuff. And so it's a way to contribute to us as developers to help build out more and more content. We want community members to play our games, and you have to pretty much join our community, get one of our heroes. In some cases, some of our games are going to require more than one hero, a set of heroes to be able to play that game. If you think about, online multiplayer type games, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 characters for a particular game. And so you want a collection of heroes to be able to maximize your opportunities to play the games in the Unioverse.
We've introduced a let's call it a game that allows you to get a hero. What is the Collectibles game?
Yeah, the Collectibles, it's really interesting because Wyatt and I, we've co-founded the company, and we saw a lot of projects and how, whitelists were distributed, et cetera. And we weren't really big fans of it. So we wanted a way that if people got really involved with the community and they learned about the community, that they should have first shot to be able to get these characters. And in fact, all 20,000 of the original Ryus were given away to community members who played this game. And the game actually exceeded our wildest expectations. We actually had to pause in the middle of the game in the fall to be able to rebuild the tech, to be able to support the 100,000+ people. I think we got to about 140,000 people that were in there collecting every single one of these. And so the way it works is each collectible is a gorgeous piece of Stuart Jennett's artwork. He's just a phenomenal concept artist, just does insane levels of
absolutely
quality.
Incredible.
He helps you visualize these stories of the wonderful artists that we have. And so every collectible is this piece of art, and it's got tidbits, a little bit of story buried within it that you can read about. And it's a way for our community to learn the story and the lore of the universe and collect this imagery of the universe as well. And there's sets, you collect like a set of 4 universe collectibles, and then those 4 can be merged into, forged into a more special collectible as well. And what makes it more special? We want it all along for people to collect these and to hold them and to value what they're doing. So every day you hold them, you collect what's called Protens. And when you forge, you collect those forged new ones, collect a lot more Protens than the original ones you picked up. So, you kind of think about it like a McDonald's Monopoly game. You collect the different pieces, and you get a set of the different pieces, you get a cooler piece. And so it became really fun, and it was we had fun making some of the windows 10 or 12 hours to collect, and one of the windows I think was as low as like 30 minutes to collect. And so we had people on standby waking each other up in the middle of the night so that they wouldn't miss out on collectibles. So it became a really fun thing for the game. So there's kind of series 2 of the collectibles we're really excited about. We've got Stuart Jennett cranked out a bunch more art for you guys as well. And so we'll be kicking off this game this week. And I think it's something we'll continue to do in the future because It's a fun thing for the community. They collect these protons. The protons accumulate. We'll find more and more things for people to be able to redeem protons for. But again, even with Ryu, where you're able to get one of the heroes for protons, you'll be able to get a Krisha as well with protons. So we will save at least a certain allotment of those for the community to be able to acquire with protons.
And so it's so important to remain engaged, be dedicated to the community, watch out for those windows. We have around 2 to 3 windows a week with a collectible dropping. Remember that 4 forge into the 1. The longer you hold them, the more protons they generate.
I can't believe how many people call me. I've even, one of our desk investors and one of the legendary people in the game industry, Dave Jones, he created Grand Theft Auto, Crackdown, Lemmings, ABB. He called me yelling because we did a collectible window and it was only 1 hour and it was when he was on a flight and he wasn't able to collect it. I'm like, calm down. If these are NFTs, some of the people are going to list them on OpenSea. If you missed one, just go pick it up. He's like, but I was trying to get a perfect set myself. So everything we do has some gaming elements in it. And I think you guys will really enjoy the Unioverse Collectible series.
With Windows, we always try to be as, we know that our community is diverse themselves. Everyone's in different time zones, so everyone's online at different times. So we're going to try and be as accommodating as possible with this round to make sure that everyone has a fair chance to collect as many as possible, get those protons, and then be able to exchange those for Krisha that's coming up. Tony, I know that you guys have such an incredible vision for the future, and this is why the Universe has been created. It's meant to disrupt the gaming industry. It's meant to fix certain problems within it, but more importantly, it's here to offer opportunities, a new story, and really better games for the future, right? How do you think we will be able to build better games in the future?
If you look at the history of gaming, originally you had to make all the tools and you actually had to make the engines yourself. It was incredibly complex and it made gaming very limited. With the advent of the Unreal Engine, Unity, and other engines out there, it made it much easier, a lower entry level for people to come and make games. We're trying to lower that barrier even farther because what we're trying to do is give gamers, game developers access to a world-class story and an IP. You can think of Star Wars or Marvel Universe, the great characters and the lore and the stories that they have. We want to build that type of assets for the Universe, and we want to make them all available to the community. If you're a small developer and try to make a Star Wars game, they wouldn't even answer the phone. When you're a bigger developer and you want to make a Star Wars game, you got to write a $1, $2, or $3 million check and then pay them maybe 15, 20% royalties. That's not what the Universe is about. We're inclusive. We want as many developers as possible to make games for the Universe and to host our heroes. So one cool thing is we'll have hundreds of thousands of people this year that own Universe heroes. What's really great for a small developer is they create a game that accept these heroes. They have hundreds of thousands of people that will actually go right over to the game and help them climb the charts and be successful. Yep. So a big part of our vision is to make access to world-class authors. We have 25 authors who work on this project, writing stories about different parts of the universe. Give them 3D models, AAA quality heroes like Ryu and Krisha. They're fully animated, they're textured, they're rigged if you want to create additional animations for the characters, and give them a multi-million-dollar start. You may only be a team of 6 or 8 people trying to make a game. If you get multi-million dollars worth of assets, that's like double, tripling, or tenfolding the budget you have to make a game. And not only does that, is it shortens the time for introduction of the game. Because when you're making a game, 1 year turns into 2 years, turns into 3 years. I've had games that even last as long as 4 years. The more assets and more technology you can get early on, it will help you expedite that. We'll try to make some world-class music and sound effects available as well. We have Clayton from Cell Dweller working with us.
We do.
Some tracks, and his label is going to help provide some music as well that the developers will be able to utilize in their games as well. So, you're getting music, and you're getting sound effects, and you're getting characters, you're getting weapons, you're getting vehicles, you're getting all these great assets. It's got to be a huge opportunity for small independent developers to make a AAA quality looking game.
It really is. Do you have a timeline for these assets? Is that something that people can look forward to this year, maybe next year?
Definitely. I mean, we have some assets that are available already right now online, but as we create the assets, we will definitely make them. We'll release all the heroes that we released this year. Later in the year, we'll release the models, the riggings, their animations for developers to start doing what I kind of call Roblox for professional game developers. You know, children go in there and have fun with Roblox and build things, and there are a few professionals in there. But what we're trying to give is assets for people to know how to use professional tools like Unreal Engine and Unity. We're trying to give them assets so they can make the highest quality games. So those assets will really be turned on heavily at the end of the year, but we will also provide some throughout this year as well. And then everything we create, even the code we write, we will give away to the community.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about what kind of games you, as just a fan of gaming, would like to see be created within the Unioverse in the future?
Well, for us, we're really focused on multiplayer games, you know, because I think it's important when you do a multiplayer game to be an individual and to stand out. I think all of our heroes are unique. Even though you get a Krisha, every one of the Krisha will have unique attributes, will look different. Could be color, could be different color hair, could be shields, masks, helmets, add-ons to her, cybernetic arm, etc. So all of them will vary, and I think it's really fun in a multiplayer game to literally have every single character look unique within it. So we really focus on multiplayer games. We're obviously the Danger Room's the 3D shooter, and that will evolve into a final 3D shooter product at some point. You know, games that are like a party game or RPG game, I can see would work really well with a set of characters. But we want to expand it to the, all categories of games. You know, we'd love to do a racing game as well.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to see all the individual characters in their racing. You know, it won't be Mario Kart, but it will be some futuristic sci-fi version.
Absolutely.
Of a racing game that's fun like Mario Kart.
I'm really curious how people will continue to develop the story, because not only do we already have 8 fantastic story issues about Malcolm Orion and his journey across the universe, there's still so much more to come. But right now we're running a program called the New World Genesis program, where people are actually creating their own story. Well, right now they're building what's going to be the beginning of a story within the universe. So I'm really curious where and how people are going to decide to take the story, and how big of a part is it going to play within the actual game.
User-generated content is blowing me away. You know, going back to the days of Mario Paint when I worked on that project, I couldn't believe the quality that people made using a little simple tool that we made called Mario Paint. And then we worked on a game called APB, where you can customize your own character, put tattoos on it. You can make your own clothing. We literally had fashion designers within the world making amazing
Really?
clothes. So I won't underestimate what the community will be able to bring. But I know community members right now, and I've read some of their stories and looked at their artwork, and it's fantastic.
Tony, to wrap up, picture the Unioverse in 10 years. What would you like us as a team to have accomplished, and what would you like to see the community have accomplished?
Well, for me, it's exciting. Even on the Malcolm Orion stories, I only saw them maybe a week before each chapter for the community did, and I was super excited to get every one of them. So I'm excited to see where this goes. But I would like to see a whole host of heroes. Think of Marvel Universe, at least that many heroes for the Universe. A whole suite of stories that would be able to support movies and series, whether it's on Netflix, Amazon, Apple, or whatever. I think that would be fantastic. I would love a host of developers to be wildly successful making games, and our community supporting them very heavily. And it's going to be great to see more and more content that's created by our community. And I'm really excited to eventually see a whole game made by our community members teaming up and using the free assets we give them, and the code and the characters and animation, etc., for them to be able to make their own games. So that's kind of the long-term vision. I want to empower people to create and provide them great tools. And then I'll keep going out there, and I'll find the best artists to make comic books. I'll find the best authors to write stories, and make those all freely available to anyone in the community to put in their games or any other project they want to do, and they'll all be royalty free.
Tony, you are truly the Unioverse legend. Thank you so much for coming. Collectibles will be launching tomorrow. Make sure to stay tuned and join the spaces to grab your first one. And get ready because more will be launching next week. And then get ready for our hero because she's coming sooner than you probably all think. But she's coming.
She's badass. You guys,
and she's badass.
Make sure you check out the other world building secrets episodes. We have a whole host of tremendously talented people, and Zuzy's doing a great job interviewing them. If you're interested in games and how to build stories and franchises, you can hear directly the words from some of the top people in the industry, which is
absolutely
a fantastic opportunity for our community.
And we have so many surprises coming. We have the Danger Room coming. All Dweller is going to be joining us on a World Building Secrets episode soon. So stay tuned because there's a lot of very exciting things coming.
And I'll tip my hat a little bit. We have a pretty awesome trailer coming.
Oh, yeah.
I
was going to say we show some, but we're going to save it.
On a movie quality trailer for the community.
Absolutely. I almost forgot about that one. Thank you so much, Tony.
All right. See you guys.